Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping, top-trending WWE news picks that are guaranteed to blow your mind, including the best and worst of WWE Raw. CM Punk shows up after Raw. UFC Star signs with WWE. The Undertaker on Triple H's work as WWE's creative head. Bayley makes a major announcement. Paul Heyman with Rikishi and another real-life Bloodline member. Rikishi sends a message to Paul Heyman. WWE files a trademark for a new tag team. The Rock missing WrestleMania 40. The Rock injures Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. Let's jump right into it. First, let's look at the best and worst of WWE Raw. The final episode of WWE Raw before Elimination Chamber was packed with action, featuring numerous significant matches and memorable moments. There were also some unexpected surprises in store for the audience. From the electrifying appearance of the Bloodline to the triumphant return of a former champion, let's delve into tonight's highlights and low points from the Red brand. Here's a rundown of the standout moments from this week's WWE Raw preceding Elimination Chamber. Number 3. Best. Gable gets his win back. Progress begins with small steps and every narrative requires an inception. Following months of grappling to secure a victory, Chad Gable has at last garnered crucial momentum on WWE Raw. The Alpha Academy leader triumphed over Ivar in a commendable match, reclaiming his victory over the former tag team champion. This triumph ideally sets the stage for Gable to embark on a winning streak as he re-enters the Intercontinental title fray. He stands as a formidable contender against Gunther at WrestleMania 40 and merits consideration for dethroning him. With 6 episodes of WWE Raw ahead, there exists ample opportunity to construct this potential storyline. Number 2. Worse. No happy homecoming. It's fantastic to witness Raquel Rodriguez's return to WWE Raw following a challenging period. She made a comeback and emerged victorious in the Battle Royal, securing her spot in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Nonetheless, the final entry should arguably have been awarded to Indi Hartwell. The Australian talent had expressed her desire to participate in Elimination Chamber, particularly since the event is being held in her home country. It would have been a poignant moment to see Hartwell showcase her skills on such a grand stage, even if only for a brief time. Unfortunately, that opportunity has now eluded her. It's a disappointment that Rodriguez, who perhaps didn't necessarily need to be in the chamber match, will likely find herself pinned just 5 days after her significant return. Number 2. Best. Oh brother. On WWE Raw, Jey Uso embodied his moniker in a thrilling main event clash against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. The Samoan sensation came agonizingly close to securing his inaugural singles title, unleashing multiple spears and a frog splash. Yet victory remained elusive. Just as main event Jey seemed on the cusp of triumph, his twin brother Jimmy Uso intervened, precipitously ringing the bell. This disruption proved to be Jey's undoing, allowing Gunther to retain his championship. Following the ring general's departure, Jimmy launched a brutal assault on Jey, delivering 2 consecutive frog splashes to conclude the evening's proceedings. The imminent clash between Jimmy and Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40 appears all but confirmed. The trajectory of this storyline promises myriad twists and turns, leaving spectators on the edge of their seats. Number 1. Worst. Way to build a chamber match. The Women's Elimination Chamber promotional segment kicked off with fervor as Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan engaged in a heated exchange, catching viewers by surprise before realizing it was part of the promotion. However, the excitement dwindled rapidly, becoming predictable and monotonous. Awkward moments only exacerbated the situation. On the other hand, when the 6 women began to brawl, Nia Jax entered the fray and effortlessly dominated them all. In an instant, the entire roster appeared diminished in comparison. While it's encouraging that Jax now poses a greater threat following WWE Raw, skepticism looms over her ability to unseat Rhea Ripley in Australia. Number 1. Best. The Dashing Ones show out on WWE Raw. WWE Raw kicked off with an exhilarating match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, showcasing the caliber of a premium live event. Without question, both wrestlers delivered a captivating performance as they chart their paths towards WrestleMania. The integrity of both superstars remained intact throughout the match, although the Bloodline intervened towards the end. A timely distraction from Jimmy Uso enabled Solo Sikoa to deliver a devastating blow to the American Nightmare, reminiscent of their encounter at WrestleMania 39. While McIntyre emerged victorious, the victory wasn't entirely conclusive. The anticipation for Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns 2 is already ignited, with the storyline poised to intensify further. A private exchange between the former AEW star and Seth Rollins in the trainer's room adds an intriguing dimension. Meanwhile, WWE Raw effectively portrayed Drew McIntyre as a formidable force, solidifying his status by becoming only the 2nd person to pin Rhodes since his return to the company in 2022. Next up, CM Punk shows up after Raw. Despite his injury, CM Punk has been present on WWE programming this month. He has also been spotted backstage at numerous shows, including tonight's episode of Raw. Although he didn't make an appearance on television, Punk made his way out after the show concluded. Jey Uso, still recovering from the assault by his brother Jimmy, found himself in the ring when Cody Rhodes emerged and introduced the straight-edged superstar. CM Punk delivered a heartfelt promo to the Anaheim fans, commending them for their energy throughout the strong show. The former WWE champion reassured the audience that he would return to action by the next time Raw visited the city. This injury is a bump in the road, and I promise you the next time we are in Anaheim, I will be here, and I will have my boots on, said Punk. It remains intriguing to speculate whether WWE will incorporate Punk into WrestleMania 40. Despite his injury preventing him from wrestling, the former AEW star could potentially assume a significant role at the show's shows. He might serve as the host of Mania and further develop his ongoing conflicts with Seth Rollins and particularly Drew McIntyre. Will CM Punk make an appearance at WrestleMania 40? Share your predictions in the comments section below. UFC Star signs with WWE. WWE's chief content officer, Triple H, was recently seen alongside renowned professional mixed martial artist Michael Chandler. Chandler, 37, currently competes in the lightweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. There are expectations for Chandler to face Conor McGregor inside the octagon this year following their team's clash on The Ultimate Fighter 31. After issuing a challenge to the Notorious on this week's Raw, Chandler shared backstage photos with Triple H and appeared to jest about signing a contract with WWE. "Contract signed," he wrote, following up The Undertaker on Triple H's work as WWE's creative head. The Undertaker, a WWE Hall of Famer, and Triple H have crossed paths numerous times throughout their careers, sharing the ring on several occasions. In a recent episode of his 6 Feet Under podcast, the Deadman delved into Triple H's backstage management since assuming the role of WWE's chief content officer. He commended the game for his strong leadership qualities, affirming that Triple H is the ideal individual to mentor the company's emerging talents. "I haven't seen him badmouth anybody. There's been times when you come back through the curtain and you know that the chewing is coming. I haven't seen that with him. I haven't been around a whole lot, but I've been around enough and I know him well enough I can just tell. There's such a chill vibe. For me, I almost don't like it because it's almost too calm. And this is just me on the outside looking in. It is like they don't care enough. And it's not that. It's just the atmosphere. I think because that roster is so young, that kind of person that can nurture like he can, I think is perfect for this time period in the industry." In addition to his backstage duties, Triple H appears to be embroiled in the ongoing Cody Rhodes Bloodline storyline on the road to WrestleMania 40. It remains to be seen if he will increase his on-screen presence in the weeks leading up to the prestigious event. What are your opinions on the game's tenure as WWE Chief Content Officer? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Bayley makes a major announcement. WWE superstar Bayley has a significant announcement for fans as WrestleMania 40 approaches. The role model etched her name in history by winning the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, surpassing Rhea Ripley's record for the longest duration spent in a single Rumble match. However, tensions have arisen between Bayley and her former Damage Control stablemates following her victory. While initially eager to challenge Rhea for the Women's World Championship, Bayley's plans took a turn when she discovered her own faction members ridiculing her behind her back. This development sets the stage for a monumental showdown at WrestleMania 40 between Bayley and WWE Women's Champion Io Sky. Sharing her thoughts on X/Twitter, the role model declared her adoption of a new title for herself. She stated that henceforth, she would be recognized as the 2024 Royal Rumble winner. This tweet served as a response to an earlier tweet from 2013, where she had announced her decision to embrace the name Bayley instead of her previous ring name, Davina Rose. As for what lies ahead for the role model, only time will tell. Paul Heyman with Rikishi and another real-life Bloodline member. WWE legend Paul Heyman recently shared a rare photo on social media featuring himself alongside Rikishi and Samuel Anoa'i, a real-life member of the Bloodline. Since joining World Wrestling Entertainment in 2001, Heyman has emerged as one of the most prominent figures in the pro wrestling world, renowned for his exceptional managerial skills. Over the years, he has guided globally acclaimed stars like CM Punk and Brock Lesnar before assuming the role of Wiseman to Roman Reigns. However, even before becoming the tribal chief's advisor, Heyman had a significant history with the Anoa'i family. He previously managed the Samoan SWAT team, which included Rikishi and his brother Samuel Anoa'i, during their stint in World Championship Wrestling. Reflecting on his extensive connection with the Anoa'i family, Heyman shared a throwback picture on his Instagram stories, expressing immense pride in a relationship that commenced 35 years ago. 35 years ago tonight, on 35 years, the Samoan SWAT team debuts in World Championship Wrestling. I am infinitely proud of my rich history with sports entertainment's greatest dynasty. Hashtag Bloodline, hashtag Samoan Dynasty, hashtag Psychoepi, hashtag Wiseman, hashtag Samu, hashtag Fadu, hashtag SST, Heyman wrote. Rikishi sent a message to Paul Heyman. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi recently shared his reaction on Instagram regarding a poster featuring the Bloodline. Expressing his concern, the 58-year-old questioned why he was placed at the back of the poster. In a lighthearted tone, Rikishi then humorously suggested that Paul Heyman should give Cody Rhodes a call, teasing Heyman's habit of reaching out to Roman Reigns whenever he's absent from WWE television. Why am I in the back of this #Bloodline poster? At Paul Heyman call Cody American Nightmare Cody. Speculation abounds among fans that Paul Heyman could potentially manage Braun Breaker after his tenure with Roman Reigns concludes. The future trajectory of the Wiseman's career with the company remains uncertain. Would you like to see Breaker become Heyman's next client? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Next up, WWE files a trademark for a new tag team. In recent months, WWE has been actively constructing tag teams and factions across all three brands. During a recent episode of SmackDown, a newly formed tag team adopted a new name, prompting the Stanford-based company to file a trademark for the moniker. The latest SmackDown episode featured significant matches and segments with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate declaring their intent to become the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions by defeating the Judgment Day at Elimination Chamber, Perth. After their triumph over DIY, Dunne and Bate expressed the need for a fresh tag team name, ultimately deciding on the New Catch Republic. Following this decision, WWE filed a trademark for their chosen name as reported by Fightful Select. New Catch Republic trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of entertainment services, namely wrestling exhibitions and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer rendered and through broadcast media including television and radio, and via the internet or commercial online service. Tyler Bate proposed the new name to Pete Dunne, who gave his approval in his characteristic fashion. Later this week, the duo will challenge Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship at Elimination Chamber, Perth. The Rock's former rival on him joining the Bloodline. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T recently shared his perspective on former rival The Rock aligning with the Bloodline on SmackDown last week. The Great One forged an alliance with his cousin Roman Reigns after transitioning into a heel persona. Initially slated to face off at WrestleMania 40, it now appears they will be teaming up for the event instead. Another superstar with whom the Brahma Bull shares history is Booker T. They clashed multiple times in 2001. Their encounter at that year's SummerSlam saw the Great One triumph over the current NXT commentator to capture the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. During the latest episode of the Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T expressed his lack of surprise over The Rock's decision to turn heel and join the Bloodline. He noted that it was the correct move and a logical choice. "I'm not surprised one bit. I mean, you heard me say it, blood is thicker than water. And I said, let's sit back and see how this thing plays out. I was looking at something on YouTube that was talking about how The Rock pulled the trigger on being in the match. And then after the backlash from people, Rock had the wherewithal to switch gears. Now can I see that happening? Perhaps. I could see that happening. So that's why I try not to book the show, because the way it was yesterday may not be the way it is today." Booker also thought that it was the right move. "I think it was the right move, right call to do this angle right here and put Cody in that position. Nah man, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, and it's the smartest move that anyone could have thought of," said Booker. The Rock missing WrestleMania 40? While the anticipated showdown between the People's Champion and the Tribal Chief for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship won't occur at WrestleMania 40 as initially planned, there's still speculation that The Rock could compete at the event. Currently entangled in a storyline with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, fans anticipate a tag team match featuring The Rock and Roman Reigns against Cody and Seth on night one of the show's shows. If this materializes, it would mark The Rock's first match since WrestleMania 32, making it a highly anticipated event. Observing how events unfold will undoubtedly be intriguing. The Rock injures Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. The Rock has initiated his feud with Cody Rhodes, evident from the recent developments on WWE SmackDown. However, on the latest episode of Monday Night Raw, Solo Sikoa intervened during the match between Cody and Drew McIntyre, aiding the Scottish Warrior in securing the win. Backstage, after Rhodes received the Samoan Spike, Seth Rollins reassured the American Nightmare that he had support. However, this may have been an oversight, as the Brahma Bull observes everything and responds accordingly. With Cody Rhodes set to face Roman Reigns on Night 2 of WrestleMania XL, and The Rock determined to ensure Rhodes' defeat, the Bloodline could stage an ambush on Night 1. This move would prevent the Visionary from offering support to the American Nightmare during his match against the Tribal Chief. While Seth Rollins may prefer to avoid involvement, the current World Heavyweight Champion stands ready to shield Cody Rhodes from the Bloodline's onslaught. In fact, The Rock has proposed a tag team match for Night 1 of the show of shows, pitting Roman Reigns and himself against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And lastly, The Rock involved in scripting his promos. Undoubtedly, The Rock's promos are incredibly effective in energizing the crowd. Even in his recent returns to cutting promos after several years, the electrifying energy remains constant. Interestingly, it has been disclosed that The Rock has actively contributed to crafting his scripts from the outset. Rather than merely memorizing the provided scripts, there is a collaborative process between him and the writers, with revisions exchanged until a script is mutually satisfying. Furthermore, The Rock also engages other superstars who are part of his promos to ensure a seamless and captivating delivery. Are you looking forward to WrestleMania XL? Share your excitement in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more wrestling content, and see you in the next video.